Right now, buy new carpet at the Home Depot and the installation in your whole house is on the house, as in free. So, let's cover more rooms with the same budget. Free installation will do wall-to-wall wonders with your wallet. Call 1-855-MEASURE to schedule an in-home measure or visit a store to get started. Let's do this. New carpet, free installation, more saving, more doing. Valid on basic installation through July 22nd. Minimum $1,500 purchase of carpet and pad. Varies by market, U.S. only.
Blog Talk Radio.
Ma'at Hotep. That means peace and blessings be upon you from the abundance of the Creator. And I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Back to Life with Dr. Nebkheperure. Beloved brothers and sisters, what I want to discuss with you today is the elements and the capacities of some words. It's very important, and these are missing keys to the full experience that majority of blacks is missing, and it goes into the psychological realm and spiritual, religious realms, and so on and so forth. And what we want to do is tie all that together and with logic and evidence and those evidences, if you want to call them evidences, that sometimes they're not as tangible as one would want them to be. But that doesn't mean that something doesn't exist, or it doesn't mean that something is not true and it stands correct. You know what I'm saying? It would take some processing, for those evidences to become clear. The title of the show today was Faith versus Knowledge. Which one is more important, or do you need both? Can you just ride just off knowledge? What is knowledge? Can you just ride off faith? What is faith? And how does that connect to belief, trust, and truth? So before we do anything, what I like to do is define terms, because by definition of terms, therefore, we could best know how to deal with the situation. All right, for the first definition we have is we're going to deal with faith. Faith is I'll be using the newdictionary.com. You can, it should be on the Android market, the Windows market, BlackBerry market, iPhone market, or you can go to your computer or PC or tablet, and you should be able to pull up those, the dictionary.com. So then when you are in consolidation in terms of what I'm reading, as using the dictionary.com as an independent source. Okay? Now here we go. Faith is described as confidence or trust in a person or thing, faith in another's ability, belief that is not based on proof, belief in God or in doctrines or teachings of religion, belief in anything as a code of ethics, standards of merit, a system of religious belief. Okay? That's just faith. What is belief? Belief is defined as something believed, an opinion or conviction, confidence in the truth, or existence of something not immediately susceptible to rigorous proof. Confidence, faith, trust, a religious tenet or tenets, i.e., someone's religious beliefs. Trust is defined as reliance on the integrity, strength, ability, surety, etc. of a person or thing. Confidence, expectation of something, hope. Confidence in the certainty of a future payment for property of goods received. Credit, to sell merchandise based on trust. Also, trust means a person or a person on whom or a thing which one relies. Hence, i.e., God is my trust. An obligation or responsibility imposed upon a person in whom confidence or authority is placed. It's a charge, it's a custody or care to leave valuables in someone's presence. Truth is defined as the true or actual state of a matter, conformity with fact, or reality, verity, a verified or disputable fact or indisputable fact, proposition, principle, or the like. The state or character of being true, actuality or actual existence, an obvious or accepted fact, a truism, a platitude, honesty, integrity, truthfulness, an idea or fundamental reality apart from and transcending perceived experience, i.e., the basic truths of life. And lastly, knowledge. What is knowledge? How do we, or how can we define knowledge? It is the acquaintance with facts, truths, or principles, as from study or investigation, general knowledge of many things, familiarity or conversation, as with a particular subject or branch of learning. Acquaintance or familiarity gained by sight, experience, or report. The fact or state of knowing, the perception of fact or truth, clear and certain mental apprehension. It's an awareness as of a fact or circumstance. All right. So the question was asked to me, are we to believe in the ancients? Or should we know about the ancients? I'm going to tell you something right here and right now. By all of those definitions that I just gave, they all coincide with one another. A secret to the ancient Egyptians and Nile Valley Africans and all belief systems and spiritual systems of the world, you got to have some type of knowledge, and you also has to believe, have faith, and you're going to have to do some trusting. What they have done is some of the black conscious groups, because the black conscious groups and religious groups that like to get rid of Christianity and the Bible and those different things, or those kind of ideas. What they wanted to do was to edit certain words out of the English vocabulary. That's a very, very dangerous thing to do. I wouldn't suggest it. I would tell anyone in the conscious community or that is growing in wisdom and understanding that it is okay to believe, to have faith, to have knowledge, and to trust in the Creator, in the ancestors, in yourself, and in one another simultaneously. What makes the Christian community, the Muslims, and the Jewish people, for instance, just using those that is these faith religions, what makes them so powerful is the fact that, yes, you could know some things about their stuff, about their religion, and so on and so forth, and their book is taken on face value, meaning it's a faith or just a simple blind faith and a blind trust in the works that was passed down, as they say, quote unquote, from prophets, from priests, from scribes, from rabbis, from oracles, from great prophets of the past that wrote, and they have these collection of books that the sum total of them you would find in the three Western religions, but most importantly, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, but also you will find these books in collection that was passed down, and you would say from those books is combined as Bible and Quran. Now, is there truths in those books? Yes, there is truths in those books. Was there many great things that were spoken of in those books? Yes, it was. Are there any historical facts that's in those books? Yes, there is some historical facts in that book. Is everything in both of those books, is it true and correct? No, it's not. And this is just my my decades of experience in studying them and verifying evidence and and checking things out page by page, precept by precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. You don't have to take my research, even though it is unbiased. I became my own worst skeptic. I had to investigate everything once I found out the fraud of history. So anything that's using people, places, times, and events, and they put it into a narrative story, I became skeptic of everything because I knew as growing up, and I came to this epiphany when I was 16 years old, and I saw that men created religion. I didn't even understand even about white men at that time, or Arab men, or Jewish men at that time. I knew it was black men that took a few statements from out of Western religions and they made religions. And they had people worshiping gods that didn't exist. Human beings that had no power. And they caused gross confusion in the minds of people. And so that led me into to the deepest studies. I said, no, I cannot just accept anything. So I looked up at the sun. I was in a meditative state, and I looked up at the sun. And I knew that since it said in the Bible, and I knew that this was true because without the creation of the sun, you don't have any evidence of in this world. You don't have anything. Why? Because all life, all love, and all law comes from the sun. So that's it. So the sum total, before you break down into any type of religious name, it's the all, capital A, capital L, capital L, capital L, the all, absolute law, life, and love. What's the sum total of that? It's right in the sky, because without that sun shining 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 and a half days of a year, there will not be no life form that would exist after 72 hours. After that light goes off, it will be gross chaos in the whole spectrum of the known universe. So we know that when it said that, there's no where it says there is this is Ecclesiastes 1:9. It says there is nothing new under the sun. So everything points all the way back to what? The Creator. And once it points back to the Creator, it goes back to what the Creator used as a sign of its power. The Creator used a sign for its power, and that is the sun. Matter of fact, you go into Revelations, and it points. It's the seal of the living God. What's the seal of the living God? It's the sun with emanating rays coming down. See? So in my investigative research, everything points back to the sun. So if it doesn't have a creative standpoint within creation and the sun, guess what? It is absolutely false and untrue. So that's why it led me into my studies. And so I said, where all these religious roads lead to? All roads lead back into ancient Egypt, the Nile Valley civilization. Why does it lead all the way back there? Because it is the oldest civilization. I don't care what they tell you about Mesopotamia and Babylon or anything like that. They came afterwards. They don't have any evidence of that. That's concrete. See, you just using faith. You can't say, that if there's no artifacts and tombs with bones, and I don't care if it's just one tomb. You got to have something. Give me something. They ain't giving you nothing. They want you to take blind faith on everything. And when you take blind faith on everything without any evidences, without any knowledgeable evidence, that's tangible, that you can see and that you can experience based on the definitions that I gave you. See, anybody can come and pull the wool over your eyes. And so now they got humanity sleep under education. They got them sleep under religion. They got them sleep under different ideologies and philosophies and technology and all kinds of stuff to keep them deluded, to make them to believe a lie. What lie? You ready for this? Human beings have done something that is against the divine. What did they do? They got you to believe that they are deity over the Creator. Now they got cameras all over the place. See, the whole manipulation of getting people to believe a lie. There's nothing wrong with believing in your ancestors, because in certain ways you're going to have to believe. You're going to have some blind faith. You're going to have to take some trust. That's based on your knowledgeable experience and evidence that you already have. So once you have the evidence, now you can have a blind faith and stuff. Why? Because you see it's concrete. You see the truth written in stone and in gold and on papyruses that predates everything in the known world. See? So therefore, it's not built on a lie, built on a foundation of truth. So then you can say, how can I just believe in Akhenaten? How can I just believe in the Amarna pyramid? Because there's a city named Amarna. There's ruins there. There's evidences there. There's papyruses there. There's all the artifacts necessary there. There's tombs with bones in them, and so on and so forth. And so there are people was put out of that civilization. We was taken later on into a worldwide captivity. So yes, we can believe in that. Yes, we can trust in that. Why? Because we the evidence of it. We are right here in the flesh. All these experiences that happened to us, and thus it happened to us because of who and what we were. And that's why it happened. So based on that, we have to have some type of faith, beloved. We have to have some blind faith, some trust in some things. We have to have trust in the evidences. Why? Because once you do carbon dating and those different things like that, now you see everything that I'm connecting you with is a certain type of knowledge and a certain type of experience about something, so that what fills it in is your trust. What fills it in is your faith on different things. Certain things you're going to have faith in. You're going to have to look up at the sun, and after you find out that information is true, within 72 hours, all life form will cease to exist throughout the earth, throughout the known universe. All life forms will perish. The sun, the disk in the sky, is that important, because that is the source of life. You can't even have the creation of anything without the sun. Our ancestors knew that. They wrote that in the creation story of Heliopolis, the oldest creation story there is on the planet. So they knew something that we didn't know. They had to have faith in the divine creator, and because they had faith in the divine creator, you know why? You know what happened as a result of that? They was the most prosperous people that ever lived, the most upright people of any society. I'm not saying they didn't do any wrongs and that kind of stuff like that, but they go down in history, in the annals of history, as the most moral people that ever existed on the planet. And yes, they had evidences, but they also believed, because they didn't have. They saw the evidence of the Creator continuing to shine His light down upon them every single day. When the sun rises, it has defeated the set of the sun. And because it has defeated the set of the sun, and that represents the chaos, that represents falsehood, that represents evils and all that. Once the sun rises again, and that rising means that it's a rising of new light, new truth, new evidences, bringing out of chaos, it brings into order. Our ancestors knew that. Our ancestors understood that, and based on that, they had a knowledge, and also they had a faith that they can believe in and trust in, and that always connected to the divine. They never connected it to no man. It always had to do with the divine. Why? Because the divine don't lie.